1 year ago, the Champ Car World Series teams that came over to the Indy Racing League had to learn the art of oval racing practically on the fly, learning a whole new array of tracks and equipment. One of those teams affected was Newman Haas Flanagan Racing, who had to backtrack from their championship pedigree in order to learn the ropes of the IRL. Apparently, they've learned them pretty well, because for today's Roadrunner Turbo Indy 300 event at Kansas Speedway, they are on the front row with Graham Rahal on pole and Robert Dornbos on the outside front row. It's going to be very interesting to see if Newman Haas Flanagan can keep up that pace throughout the race, and also to check out the progress of the other former Champ Car teams, especially KV Racing Technology and their driver Mario Moraes. They had a great oval test in February at Homestead Miami Speedway. We'll see if that can translate into good results here at Kansas. Also, another thing to keep an eye on is obviously two-time defending Kansas champion Dan Weldon. Will he be able to make it 3 in a row at Kansas with his new team, Panther Racing? In qualifying, they tried to go for the pole, but it kind of backfired on them, so they're going to be starting on row 5, I believe in 9th position. That being said, though, I'm pretty sure Panther will be able to give Dan Weldon a car good enough to move him up the pylon in short order. Another couple group of cars that will be moving up the pylon is going to be Dario Franchitti and Elio Castroneves, who both had their qualifying runs disallowed on Saturday because they both went below the white lines during their 4 laps of qualifying. Franchitti will start 20th, and Castroneves will start 21st in today's race, and I think seeing them move up from the back of the pack is going to be highly entertaining. The same goes for EJ Bizo. He will start caboose 22nd in the field today after failing a post-qualifying tech inspection. So seeing those 3 move up from the back of the pack, like I said, it's going to be good fun. Another thing to keep an eye out for are the seams on this racetrack. Apparently you can drive across the seams on this 1.5 mile tri-oval racetrack, but you can't drive on them too long because the car will lose all sorts of grip. I noticed that mentioned in quotes from Weldon and Vitor Mira as well. There's about, I believe there are about 2, 3, 4 seams that separate this this track into lanes, this 55-foot wide track into like separate lanes. So it'll be very interesting to see which drivers will have cars good enough to drive across those seams and be able to keep a good lap and keep good grip on their cars. I believe coverage is going to be starting today at 4 p.m. Eastern on Versus. The race around 5 o'clock, from what I've been seeing in the notes. Indy Racing Revolution will start up at 4:30 p.m. Eastern with our standard race live blog. I'll also be doing updates on my personal Twitter page at www.twitter.com/EstradaRiding. So you got 2 ways to keep up with the coverage of Indy Racing Revolution and obviously my own Twitter page. Hopefully you can stop by, you can chat, you can reply to me, and hopefully you'll enjoy the first oval race of the 2009 season. If we manage to get it in, I'm being told, I'm checking out the websites, forecast not looking good. I'm hearing a 70% chance of precipitation on weather.com. Also chances for strong winds, hail, almost a repeat of what we saw Saturday night in Kansas City, where we had a bunch of severe storms move through the area. The tornado sirens actually went off at Kansas Speedway, and a twister was sighted about a mile away from the racetrack. So all the teams, the IndyCar teams, and the Camping World Truck Series teams, they all had to hunker down the media center, any solid building at the track until that storm was waited out. However, it doesn't look like the storms are going to be done with Kansas City and the racing teams there quite yet. So just keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll get a race in, and if there's any postponements, any cancellations of any kind, Indy Racing Revolution will keep you informed. Again, mvn.com/Indy Racing Revolution at 4:30 tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, and also www.twitter.com/EstradaRiding. It should be a good race. Hopefully we'll get it in.